You guys in the chat, make sure that our audio is okay. Let us know if you have any problems. We're going to be featuring a pretty good round 1 feature match, Ross Cawthon versus Mia Violet. As a reminder today, 2 quick things. On the Bubble was presented by Top Cat Central. None of this would be possible without Top Cat Central. The NorCal stream wouldn't be possible. This wouldn't be possible, and nothing else would be possible. So please, if you like the stream, check out topcatcentral.com and buy a playmat, sell them your bulk, do whatever you can. I'm Kenny Wisdom. This is Chase Neiman. We got Isaiah over here, kind of in the frame. We'll be streaming all day today. Today is a 1-day event, meaning that we'll probably be streaming well into the night. We're on Pacific time right now. It's 10 a.m. So we'll probably be here well into the night. So
should be fun.
Yeah, should be great. I think we're gonna go over to the match now. I think they're probably getting set up.
Sounds good.
You're gonna hear some announcements in a minute. The speakers are kind of loud, so just be wary of that. We have Ross on the right. You know, as always, Ross is one of the most acclaimed players in the game. 2 world second places, 11 straight worlds invites. Only person to ever do that. You know, what else needs to be said?
Did Ross play in a regionals last week?
No.
Okay,
Ross,
it should be really interesting seeing him with the new time limits and stuff.
Yeah,
that should be something.
I agree.
Will definitely be cool.
Ross is known to be a very careful player. A very
good phrasing. I like that.
one of the slower players, but it's obviously not intentional. It's just his strategic elements. Is the audio good? Is everyone saying? It's laggy. If you have any video or audio problems, we apologize. We're kind of not on the best Wi-Fi right now. We're trying to get all the internet set up, but hopefully it'll be okay to watch. And in addition to Ross, we have Mia from Oregon. She's a local player. Most of the players that we'll feature today, I think, will be people that I'm aware of. She only been playing for a year now, I think. She top-8'd Oregon states with Kling Klang, the same states that I top-4'd last year. And I think she's had some other successes, some cities wins, but I don't think she's been able to attend a nationals or any bigger event.
Sounds like you just wanted to brag about your top 4.
Yeah, no, humble brag. Oh yes, that event that I top-4'd, yes.
Yes, that one.
As you can see here, the mats that the players are using are the ones that will be selling on topcatcentral.com.
They look good. I like them. They came out very well.
Yeah, we have some real copies here. Look very nice.
Do we know what they're playing at all? Or?
No, unfortunately, we weren't able to get deck list, and I haven't spoken to any of these players or gotten much feedback on what they're playing. But it's safe to assume that Ross is playing something interesting.
Yeah, definitely. All around should be an interesting first round.
Remember that if you like this stream, go to facebook.com/OTBPokemon and give us a like. We're doing a bunch more streams, a bunch more videos to keep up on that.
Subscribe to our YouTube. All the games are going to be up on YouTube right away.
Yeah, that's youtube.com/OnTheBubblePokemon.
That is it. They'll be up in the next week or so.
And again, we apologize that there's not. We're working on the internet connection. We're working on all of that. Again, if the stream is not to your liking, the videos will be up in better form on the website in the next week or so. But again, we're kind of dealing with what we have here.
Yeah, we're just working with what we have, which is 2.76 megabytes per second.
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. Announcements.
Thank you for your patience. Did I get your attention a little bit? All right, thank you very much. My name's David. I'll be the head judge for today's event, and I just want to go over a couple of little ruling things that we got to change here this year. We're starting our best 2 of 3 Swiss play. So it's a 50-minute round, best 2 of 3. And the way that's going to work is when we're looking at the match results as complete games, is what really going to count. So if it doesn't really matter if time is called during game 2, it doesn't really matter where you are in game 2. We'll play out the +3 turns at the end. And if that game hasn't resolved completely, then the first game match will count. And if we're in game 3 when time's called, if we can't win completely, draw all 6 prizes, knock out all of your opponent's Pokemon, or your opponent runs out of cards, you have to win the game. Prize card count doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of
going over some basic announcements here.
Then if we're in game 3, so you have to play that game all the way through in order
fewer than the 227 players needed, so only 8 rounds today.
All right, on our match
That's usually how it is here.
We are going to ask when you finish a game, whether it's the first game.
Not the biggest turnouts, but I'd say it's a decently competitive field nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, the quality of players is very high.
Like a very, very high amount of Worlds qualifiers.
And
Consistent Worlds qualifiers as well.
Oh, definitely. We have I don't know how, I guess I don't know how many of you guys know this, but Ross is in the building. Sam Chen from New York is here. David Cohen, former world champion, is here. Tyler Namora, multiple-time regional winner and Worlds qualifiers here. Jack Pitcher, seniors runner-up, or top 4 in Hawaii. Chase Maloney, seniors world champion. Star second event. James Good. James Good. Top. Is Simon here? Is Simon in the road here?
Junior division today. We're starting with.
We're not sure if Simon in the road. We've got second in Masters this year is here, but we have James Good, the 3rd place player.
Simon isn't here.
Okay.
For everybody in the junior division, and then the top 8 will have a
Yeah, we got Martin from Canada. We have Martindale.
Michael Martindale. We just have, I mean, a lot of big name players and a lot of players who are also.
I think Gordon's here.
Oh, Gordon is here. Yes, Gordon is very here.
Gordon is very here.
Mark Hansen.
Yeah, Mark Hansen.
Prizes own Mark Hansen is here. Again, we just have not the biggest turnout ever, but we do have a pretty compacted field of good players, so hopefully we'll get some good matches out.
A top 9 or top 8 as well. 6 rounds of Swiss.
I don't know how much you guys can hear of the announcements, but well, you're hearing David Nelson right now, our PTO for Washington, a great guy.
117 Masters.
117 Masters.
So yeah, it will be 8 rounds.
Thanks everybody for showing up on this nice fall day. 7 rounds of Swiss.
7 rounds.
7 rounds of Swiss. Okay.
Players, 7 rounds of Swiss.
I thought I heard him say 8 earlier.
Well, but again, prizes will go
second top 8.
considerably deeper than just the top 8. So I believe.
Unfortunately, won't be able to stream any seniors or juniors matches today, but there are a lot of top seniors and juniors here. We have Jackson Ford, world's qualifier, back and forth. Had something over 1,000 championship points last year, I think.
Just insane.
Ian Whiten, 3rd at Worlds this past year in Vancouver, and where we're at now. We have a lot of almost all of the seniors. Like we have a good probably 8 to 10 seniors in the Northwest that qualify every year, so just a good room. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get to any of those guys, but we should have enough Masters to make up for that.
We'll see. We'll maybe get Isaiah to post appearance for that too.
Yeah. If you want to, while we're waiting, go over some there's some decent matches here. We have Zane Nelson, who's a player from the Northwest, playing against James Good, so that'll be really interesting. We have Paul Johnston versus Michael Martindale, so a little bit of Washington versus Canada action.
Running our computers.
We got Lane Tower versus Simon Ford. Simon Ford's the
top-notch player.
Top-notch player, top-notch Canadian Polka Dad, and Lane Tower is I think his claim to fame was probably writing the Lily Pup Rush article. For 6 prizes.
I finally read that. That was a good article.
It's my favorite 6 prizes article.
Our runners, they get your match.
It's too bad he can write a better article than you ever could by joking.
Get those in the computer and turn them around and get the next round pairings up there. We have Anita.
Some announcements still.
And Shauna here at a couple of hours.
Also, real quick, if you're new to us and you're new to who we are, please subscribe to this Twitch channel for sure, but also our main Twitch channel is just On The Bubble. Or sorry, it's On The Bubble?
On The Bubble. Twitch.tv/OnTheBubble.
It's On The Bubble, so that's our main one that we'll be using for our main shows and for streams and something else going on. So please remember to subscribe to that. That's really important to us. In our senior division, we have Terry and Mike. You guys can't see on the camera, but Mia is wearing this kind of crazy witch wizard hat. It's not quite in frame, but she got dressed up for the event tonight.
Between juniors and seniors, helping out in both age groups there. And
is it like Miss Magic? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of cosplay. You know, if you know me very well, I'm not a big fan of cosplay, so I couldn't tell you.
Sandy is our tournament organizer today.
It's not Harrison Levin speaking. I am Kenny Wisdom.
And I'm Chase Neiman. Yeah.
That's who we are. I wish I was Harrison. I've gotten confused for Harrison before.
I think it's Miss Page. I think that's what she's going for.
Maybe.
Looks nice nonetheless. All the same, well crafted.
Yes, yes.
If you have any sort of
Harrison isn't a streaming originals this week. He will be in Pennsylvania next week, though.
Philly. Also remember, if you post on Facebook or post on Twitter a picture of yourself watching the stream or a screenshot of the stream or something about the stream with the hashtag OTBTCC. That's on the bubble Top Cut Central. Those initials, you'll be entered into a contest for a Sylveon collection box.
David and all of the other staff for coming in and helping and being here and making this a fantastic event. Sorry about the delay in getting this out, but we have good news. Our shirts have arrived for the Masters.
Masters are getting some sweet shirts as extra prizes.
Because we didn't do pre-registration, we have a number of them that have been printed. I have a total of 80 shirts that have been printed in various sizes. We need to put in a balance of an order, and they will be here this afternoon. So we need.
Sorry, I try not to talk too much over the announcements. I'm not sure what the audio is like on your guys' end.
So we've ordered mediums and larges. If you think you're not going to fit a medium or a large, please let me know and we'll organize that for you.
And thanks to both of the players for allowing us to stream them.
And the staff for being super accommodating.
Yeah, the staff. Sandy Moore is a TO. She's a TO for all the Vancouver events, and I've been to all of them the past few years, and it's been great.
Very well run events.
David Nelson is the head judge of Masters, I believe, and he's the PTO for Washington. He's great. He's been really supportive of the stream. He's been really supportive and just being a great judge in general. All the staff. I contend that we probably have the best staff in the Northwest, but obviously I'm biased, so it's hard to. And we're on. Oh, well, they're counting it down. She said play.
And that will start at round one here in Vancouver.
Round one. Looks like Ross is going first. Ross flipped over a Keldeo opposite a Sigilif, so it looks like Mia.
Yeah, that's a Surskit.
And a Surskit on the bench. So Mia's on the Tool Drop deck. That deck, for those who don't know, uses the Tool Drop Trubbish and the Sigilif that lets you attach an infinite number of tools, and the Trubbish does damage based on the number of tools. The Surskit evolution lets you move tools around. It's just basically an insanely fast aggro deck. You get to attach all the good tools in the format, all the Bangles and Mirrors and Eevio Lights and such you like, and then just do hundreds and hundreds of damage. So.
Yeah, it really gives you a lot of options, being able to move your tools and attacking.
Yeah.
Being able to attach a bunch to Sigilif as well.
So it looks like Ross opens a Keldeo, plays a Skyless, so we can't really quite see what he's on. Unfortunately, I can't really see his deck, but
I think I'm seeing Lightning in his deck.
He's probably playing Blastoise, Spot Kyurem. I remember he played that for the KO.
Yeah, it looks like the same kind of thing.
Got second. Ross is again, as we said, he's a very deliberate player. He's checking his prizes. For those of you who are newer, it's always good to as fast as you can memorize your prizes while looking through your deck based on what's not in your deck. Ross fetched at the beach. Now he's Ultra Balling. So again, if you're a new player, you'll see that Ross didn't shuffle his deck in between searches because it's just a waste of time. He can just
for someone who already plays slow enough that the time limit is an issue, there's no real reason to waste.
And again,
extra.
This is best of 3, 50-minute time limit, so it's definitely a consideration to make. Thank you all for joining us. Hope it's going to be a really great day. Ross gets a Ultra Ball, discards a Water, and a Superior Energy Retrieval gets a Squirtle. The Blastoise decks, rely on having as many Squirtles out as possible. I don't know how the Tool Drop deck runs exactly, but I don't think they can knock out on turn 1. I think it takes 2 energy. Not to mention
it's 2 energy.
Not to mention all the having to have the tools in your hand. So hopefully Ross will be safe with benching a Squirtle and beaching for it looks like 4 cards. 4 cards, yeah.
That makes sense.
So
So do you think that this is a good matchup for Tool Drop, or do you think it has a bit of trouble with Keldeos?
You know, I really don't know. Tool Drop just seems like something that just kind of throws all of its hand on the table. You know, it's a definition of an aggro deck, I think. It's just kind of, we're gonna go off and do lots of damage. So I'm not really sure, besides decks that play Mewtwo's and can donk it, I'm not really sure what exactly is a bad matchup. I think that your deck is kind of the bad matchup, you know, based on your draws and all that. I could be wrong. I'll be the first to admit that I haven't tested extensively with or against the Tool Drop deck. But yeah, I have a tendency to believe that it will be mainly how the deck functions if it's able to consistently stream tools and stream Trebushes and such. I guess one thing that would really swing it is depending on how many Tool Scrappers Ross plays. A lot of people are playing 2 now, especially in Blastoise decks, to shut off Garbodor decks. So if Ross plays, like, I don't know, 2 Tool Scrapper in a dowsing or 1 in a dowsing and plays them right, like, it could really be pretty devastating to me as board. But
yeah, I know our good friend Fizzy Stars played 3 last week in California.
3.
So some people are even going that high.
In Blastoise?
Yeah, in Blastoise.
And did he play dowsing or a computer search?
I think he played dowsing.
So he has essentially 4 copies.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we see Mia attach an Eviolite and a Floatstone to her Sigilyph, and then Juniper a hand away. Didn't really see it in the hand. I think I saw a catcher. There's a Psychic Energy there.
Definitely.
Benches another Surskit. Attaches the Floatstone to it. Again, the deck just wants to have tools on board. It doesn't. It's going to bike for 2, drawing a Juniper, catcher, a Colress, and a Mr. Mime. So that's her hand right now. The deck just wants tools on board. There's not really much. You can't really even protect yourself versus Tool Scrapper, because, like, what are you going to do? Like, your deck wants tools, so they scrap them off. You just play more, right? And she's going to retreat to the Surskit by the Floatstone on the Sigilyph and pass to Ross. And Ross is really looking for a turn 2 Blastoise here. Turn 2 Blastoise is what makes the deck. It's what it's all looking for, and hopefully Mia does not have any Trebus on the bench. Mia had kind of a...
He does get the turn 2 Blastoise.
Oh, he does have turn 2 Blastoise. Okay, he has it right after. So it's going to be hard for Mia. She has a... she doesn't have any Trebus on the bench and no energy in play, I believe. So she's essentially Ross got to take 2 turns.
Yeah.
So if Ross can start getting KOs or build up a big Keldeo or a big Black Kyurem here, it will kind of be tough for me to come back. And again, this is one of the reasons that we have best 2 out of 3 Swiss. Not to say that Mia is completely out of this game, because she's not at all. She has plenty of time to come back. It's turn 2, but Ross definitely has a lead, and
yeah, he has definitely has a more intimidating board position.
All right, and so Ross is gonna double attach the Keldeo. And then end Mia's 6-card hand down, or 7-card hand from the beach down to 6. So pretty good position for Ross. He can get a knockout if he has 1 energy here, and that will just set him up for the future in a big way. So fortunately, looks like some people are having trouble with the video. You try refreshing the page. We're trying to deal with it. Again, apologies. The internet is not the best here. We can see the video. Some other people can see the video. Some people can't. So we apologize for that. And Ross is forced to attach a lightning energy. Not forced, but he attaches a lightning energy to his Keldeo, which probably spells that he doesn't have any more water in his hand.
I don't think that's the worst thing, though.
No, I mean,
he's not going to be wanting to use Black Kyurem in this, really. Right?
I mean, again, I'll be the first to admit I don't really know how the matchup goes. Russ level balls for a Squirtle. So again, just trying to get more resources built up. And I believe the Keldeo does knock out the Surskit this turn, right? So it looks like Ross will be dropping that Squirtle and scoring a turn 2 KO.
Fortunately for me, it only takes 1 tool off the field, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not the biggest deal there.
She was pretty smart in that, and Ross takes his first prize, gets first blood, if you will.
I won't.
I guess it's possible that Ross just didn't want to build up a big Keldeo with lots of waters and just wanted to do the basic damage that he needs without having to commit a bunch of waters to the board. Again, pretty ideal setup for Ross. Of course, we're not sure what's in his hand, and doesn't. It's not like he has he's dumped a bunch of energy on the field. But turn 2 Blastoise, turn 2 Knockout, Squirtle on the bench, Keldeo on the bench. It's just the deck is doing what it's supposed to do. Turn 1, turn 1, Skyla, fetch, Beach.
Yep, turn 2 Blastoise.
How the deck works. Again, we're in Canada, so we're going to be seeing probably a lot more beach decks. Here you're allowed to play French beaches, and French beaches go for, what, 20, 30?
Yeah, they're $30.
Yeah, so
30, 35.
It's much different than the $200 the English beaches cost you. And as an American player, you're also allowed to play French beaches. I did that last year when I came up for these events, so we'll be seeing probably a lot more beach decks than what you're normally used to.
Makes sense. Blastoise is very strong, so I definitely expect more Blastoise. Some people might not play just because of the time limit difference.
Right. Beach decks tend to be slower in general because, again, you're skipping your first turn and you're just kind of saying that you need a lot of cards to work, so that's definitely a consideration. And to me, it does stick a Trubbish, so she has the energy to the Trubbish, and now she's starting to get somewhere at the beginning of what she needs to do.
Yeah, she's gonna be able to attack soon, finally, assuming he doesn't have a catcher or anything.
Yeah, and this is the thing I don't like about the Tool Drop deck is that, in these situations, like, Mia's just a turn behind now, so she can play the Trubbish, drop an energy, Ross has a catcher, kills it, and then, unless Ross stumbles, which is entirely possible, but unless Ross stumbles, it's just really hard for her to come back and actually get anything set up. But in fairness, one way Ross can stumble is via N. Blastoise needs energy to work. They need cards in their hand. They need lots of cards while they play Purple Beach. So Blastoise has a bad habit of, getting ahead and then being ended 1 or 2 and just losing the game. So Mia attaches another tool to her Sigilyph and beaches for, I believe, 3. Looks like she has a bunch of supporters and tools in hand. She does have the Psychic Energy for the Trubbish, which is getting catchered.
Just too bad.
And Ross very quickly just catcher knockout. It seems like he's probably just knows he's pretty firmly in control of this game. Another level ball. I imagine Mia will be fetching a Trubbish here. Again, just desperately trying to get back into this game. And she just turns and turns behind. Ross just basically keeps skipping his turn every time and she's playing 3 level ball.
3 level ball, okay.
She flashes the level balls to Ross.
So hopefully that will help her.
Yeah.
Board
right.
position.
This is one of the things she can do. She can actually get multiple set up. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any way to accelerate energy. So it's again. Alright, so she got a Trubbish. Oh, that's Sigilyph, okay.
A Trubbish, a
Masquerade.
What's the ability?
Masquerade.
No,
I don't know the ability. So we apologize. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Whatever. She got Sigilyph, a Masquerade, and a Trubbish. Might be too little too late, though.
I mean, I think she still has a reasonable shot. Again, I'm not trying to counter out of this game at all. She can still come back. One thing that Ross could have done here is that Ross could have tried to knock out the Sigilyph, because it's what's kind of fueling all the tools. But again, I think that Ross's idea is just that she can have all the tools she wants. If she can't attack,
it's not gonna do anything for her.
And again, it's not as if she can load up tools and the next turn drop a Trubbish, drop an energy, and attack. She has to have 2 energy. So as long as Ross knows that there's not 2 Trubbish, which there's not currently on the board, you see her using those Masquerades.
Yeah, all Ross really needs here is just another catcher, and
right.
I'd say she's out of the game at that point. I know you disagree, but
and again, Mia moving the tools around with Masquerade's ability, just kind of knockout insurance, making sure that even if something happens, even if Ross lands a knockout, which he assumingly will, it's not completely devastating to her board. So. Yeah, and obviously, sorry, the The Masculine's ability, of course, lets you return tools to your hand, but it's essentially just moving them around. You can place them back down again. It's not a restriction.
So does Trubbish have zero, like it has no tools on it right now?
No tools on Trubbish. I think it's, again, because she just doesn't, Ross is going to be aiming for that Trubbish. He proved that he cares about the Trubbish more than the Siglets last turn, especially because there's multiple Siglets now, so I just don't think she wants to put anything on Trubbish and then have it be knocked out. Because again, it's already devastating to have a Trubbish knocked out, but if it's Trubbish and tools, a tool, it's just that much more.
Do you think it would have been a better play to put that Eviolite on the active onto Trubbish, though? Because she's sacrificing that tool anyway.
There's no Eviolite on the active.
Yes, there is.
That's a float stone.
Oh, sorry, float stone. That's what I meant.
No, I mean, again, I just think that she's aware that Ross is just going to be catching him, and so she just wants to lose the least amount of tools as possible. And Ross plays with Skyla. Looks like I would assume he's going to be getting a catcher. Again, unfortunately, we can't really see the player's hands. There's no way to really arrange that. I can kind of see Mia's because she's putting her hand more into the playmat, but Ross is taking some consideration.
I would assume he would get a catcher. A catcher kill on that Trubbish would essentially shut her down, and that is what he goes for.
Yeah. Catcher kill, that is. So, again, and the thing we're kind of considering now is that we don't know what Ross's hand is like. It's possible that his hand is very, very good and he just doesn't care because he just wants to get knockouts and not use his resources. But it's also possible that he's struggling and his hand, and he just only has Skylas for catchers. That the Skyla for the catcher does represent that he has something in his hand, because otherwise it seems like he would take a Skyla for something better, like a Juniper or something to get him ready. So it's very likely that Ross is in control on prizes, in control on board, and has a great hand. So
yeah, it's just all around.
And again, we are able to bring you feature matches this tournament. We're able to select the matches out of the crowd, and as long as they agree to be on camera, they can be on camera. So we're not confined to a table. We're going to try and get you the absolute best matches that we can based on decks and players. So if there's anyone that you particularly want to see, your friends that are doing well or anything, please post in the chat. For the first couple of rounds, we'll only be featuring XOs just to get the best quality player and best quality decks. But as the rounds go on, we'll probably be featuring some players that are on the bubble, for lack of a better term, who are, X11 or X12 and are really needing a win, like a winning in, really needing a win to get in. Like win gets you in top 8, loss gets you out. So just to add some, a little tension and drama. So Mia attaches to her Sigalith and ends. And again, N is one of her only ways out. I don't think it's enough here, but it is what she can try and do. Just again, we said Ross's hand. Ross is up on board on prizes, and now probably no longer in hand.
Yeah, that'll probably hurt him or his position. He still has the better board, like you said,
and unfortunately the
3 cards isn't much.
Right, and unfortunately the thing is too is that Ross has the beach up, so really all the end does is at worst case scenario set him behind a turn, like basically skip his turn, but Ross has already done that to me quite a few times, so yeah, a lot of people in the chat suggesting James Good feature matches. I can actually see James from here. He looks like he's winning his round 1 pretty handedly. He looks pretty happy, so maybe we'll get him on the feature match table in a few rounds. And Mia making some decisions.
Kale as well.
Yeah, Kale Chalafu, David Cohen. Again, we're friends with all these guys. We'll try and feature the absolute best. Personally, I'm not sure that David Cohen's going to be doing much winning today, so we'll see if he gets the way onto the stream. But hopefully, he's a good friend of mine.
Hopefully, he changes things.
Hope he can make it out. Mia catches up the other Cal. The other one has 1 water on it.
And attaches a Psychic to the Sigilif.
Yeah, I think she's out of Trebuchers. I think she only played 2 or 3. Like I think she just doesn't have them anymore. They're prized or they're just dead. But yes, and then sorry, Mia catchers and beaches, and Ross is playing another Skyla. Sorry, I got a little distracted by some of the goings on in the building, but right. And again, Ross Skyla's for catcher. That is his 3rd Skyla, I believe.
His 3rd Skyla. Yeah.
So it's likely that he has another one. And again, either Ross's hand is fine, or he just doesn't care that his hand is bad. He just wants to be killing things and just knows that he can knock out.
Yeah, you could just expect her to scoop right away.
Right. Put a lot of pressure on him. Put a lot of pressure on her, and but
she's playing it out. You know, she knows time is an issue with both Blastoise and Ross, so maybe she's hoping the next 2 games go well, or that.
And another thing is that there's no. Her deck is definitely on the good side of time, so it's not like her deck's going to time out. So the one thing you can do here is you can keep playing the game, and maybe Ross Junipers, and we see 2 Tool Scrappers. Maybe she gets free information that she wouldn't have had if she scooped. Maybe she sees 3 Black Hirams, or just something strange that you can kind of take into account for the next game.
Yeah, which is to be expected from Ross. He always plays something interesting, something a little off.
And we see another tool attached. There's now 8 tools in play, I believe, between 2 Sigiliths. Ross has 2 Squirrels, a Blastoise Keldeo, and a Keldeo 3 energy in play. Players doing some shuffling off an N. Again, this will seemingly set Ross back, but we saw that it didn't really matter last time. And Leslie Mia's hand, Super Rod. So if this game is to go,
Masters players, as a reminder,
so here's the announcements.
Come put in your order as soon as your match is over for your T-shirt. Please come pick up a T-shirt or put in an order for one. As soon as your match is over, down here at the left end of the stage.
So yeah, so I think that sorry, we're just conceding to the announcements real quick, but I think that Super Rod was definitely something Mia wanted to see. If she's going to win this game, it's not going to be with Sigiliths. She just needed those Trebuchers back in it. She did take 2 Trebuchers in a Surskit, so it...
Why do you think she didn't grab a Psychic? Because I know Tool Drop doesn't usually run that many energy.
I assume... I mean, I don't know the content of the discard pile, but I assume that she's just thinking kind of long term, and maybe she has enough Psychic in her hand. I think she has 2 in her hand right now, 1. And maybe she just thinks, okay, if I'm going to win this game, it's going to be setting up, It's desperate. She knows it's desperate. She's not, she knows what's going on. She knows she's losing, but she's thinking, if there's going to be a way I'm going to pull out this game, it's going to be with Trebuchers, and it's going to be with Masquerades. It's not going to be by not doing what I'm supposed to do. And Mia passes. Didn't activate Tropical Beach. I'm not sure. Maybe she'll deck out? No? I'm not sure why. Maybe her hand is full. I'm not quite sure. Looks like Ross is doing some counting. It's usually a sign that the player is preparing for a knockout. And yep, Ross just, again, draws, attacks, knockout. So, Mia attaching to the Sigilith, catching up the Squirtle, knocking it out, and it appears that that will be the game. Ross will Secret Sword for the knockout. All right, and so Ross takes game 1. He got in a very early, very strong advantage over Mia.
Yeah, he really had an explosive start in that one.
Yeah, it was.
Blastoise did exactly what it's supposed to, and
his explosive start, just coupled by her floundering for a few turns, just does exactly what it's supposed to be. Players will be shuffling for a little bit. again, I don't know. I'm not sure how much time we have, and we're back. I don't know how much time we have left in the round. We're gonna try and keep track of that in the future for you guys. But I didn't think that game lasted too long. I think we should hopefully have enough time to finish a complete match. Again, On the Bubble is brought to you by Top Cut Central. Please try and support them.
Pick up one of our lovely mats.
Pick up one of the mats that you're seeing on screen. We gave the mats out. The mats are on the feature match table, so you'll see them every round. If you wanna buy a mat, please do that. If you have any bulk, sell to Top Cut Central. You know, just they're supporting the game more than basically any store is right now. So please try and support them as much as possible.
Do you want to go back to the game?
They're the reason that we have these great OTB mugs. It's really important. Players are still shuffling up. Probably be a little bit. I'm trying to kind of scan the room to see other results of top name players, but it seems like everyone's still pretty into game 1s or game 2s. You can see Chase Maloney, senior world champion from 2012, looking pretty distraught. You can see James Good. Can't really ever read that guy.
That's fair.
Turn the match and still shuffling up.
Man, Ross he shuffles very strangely.
Yeah, it's a classic Ross shuffle. 3 off the top and then
just kind of jam it in there.
Jam them in. And Ross gets a basic, and it looks like Mia will be mulliganing. Again, that's an important step. Just make sure you look at your opponent's hand when they mulligan. Both make sure that they actually have a legitimate mulligan and aren't trying to fool you. And also, just to, again, get some free information. We talked about free information last week when Mia, or sorry, not last week, last game when Mia played out the game. That's a good way to get free information. And looking at your opponent's hand is also a good way to get free information. So remember to not skip those steps.
And another mulligan. That's gonna put her back a bit.
Yep, Ross is, again, this is basically Ross has essentially Tropical Beach now. I mean, he starts his hand. He's going second, but there's a lot of cards in his hand, and it's just gonna be, who knows if one of those cards is the Crucial Skyla or the second Squirtle or whatever he's gonna need. Can you put the game count somewhere up here? Is that possible? We're gonna try and put the game count up on the screen for you, just to keep it all organized. It's going to go very long, and it's people joining the stream at any time. It could be very easy to. There you go.
Lovely.
So Ross is up 1 game, and it is a Black Kyurem EX start versus Mia Violets. Mia with her Sigilyph, 2 tools, and level ball fetching what's probably going to be a Trebush.
So she might be having a better start this time around.
I mean, the thing is how this game could very easily go is Mia drops a Trebush, drops an energy, Ross draws, does whatever, gets a million, gets Beaches, whatever, Skylar for Beach, does whatever he wants to do. And if he doesn't get another Pokemon, he could easily be turn 2 200, Just looking at the chat real quick, Ross is resolving an end. We cannot put a timer on the screen, unfortunately, but we can. We will be keeping track.
Try something.
Okay. We will be keeping track of time, and we're going to do all that we can. This event started a little bit sooner than we thought it was, so we didn't exactly get everything perfectly set up, but that'll be implemented as soon as possible. And an N will basically undo all those mulligans that Mia did, putting them back on an even playing field.
Okay, do you want to let it go?
And it looks like Mia has a hand of what you'd expect, tools and supporters. Looks like she has a Just gonna play a dowsing machine. For a level ball, I assume she's immediately playing it. Yes, she is, and she's gonna either get probably get a Surskit here. There's no need. Okay, she's getting a Trubbish. There's no need for the but there's no real way for any of her Pokemon to be knocked out next turn. But patiently waiting while we shuffle. And a Bangle on the Trubbish, a Bike for 2, I'm sorry, a Bike for 3. In her hand appears to be 3 Junipers, is that right? And a Masquerain.
So again, just looking at the chat, yeah, sorry if you're having issues. We're doing the best with the crappy internet that we have here. All the videos will be up entirely on our YouTube, youtube.com/onthebubblpokemon. We'll be putting them up this week sometime. So subscribe there if you want to watch them in a bit better quality later on.
We're also trying, again, we're actively working to mess with the internet and try and make it a little bit better, but again, we're making do with what we have. And Ross is playing a Skyla. This is exactly the turn, or not exactly the board, but this is similar to what we saw play out last turn, or last game, kind of what you want to see, what the Blastoise deck wants to see every game is just turn 1 Skyla, look through my whole deck, make sure I have everything that I need, and then most likely fetch a beach, or a level ball to get a Squirtle, or whatever he thinks he's in need of. And Ross taking some time to make sure everything is in his deck, taking a look at his hand. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mia's hand is 3 Juniper, so she doesn't draw a supporter. That'll be pretty rough to just have to discard all 3 Junipers and just not have any resources for later in the game, and by later in the game I mean past turn 2. So Ross is going to Skyla for the Ultra Ball. I imagine he'll be discarding 2 water. I imagine he'll be getting a Squirtle here. Seems like a pretty easy call. Unless he knows something I don't, which is entirely possible. And lays a Squirtle.
So he's setting up at a decent pace, I would say. Mia, fortunately, kept a Trubbish with an energy on the field this time. Yeah, so that's good.
Mia, I mean, again, Mia just has resources. She gets to set a Trubbish, set energy. She gets to go first. Going first is huge too. I mean, that game 1 would have played out completely differently had Ross not gone first. So
yeah, definitely.
And unfortunately, the thing is that even if Mia is able to win this game, Ross gets to go first in game 3. So he chooses his advantage, but obviously we can see. And Ross catches the Trubbish without energy, lays a beach. That's really nice that Ross was able to get a Squirtle set up and a beach. Sometimes you can Skyla for a beach if you want, but you just need to have Squirrels on board, or else what is your beach drawing you? And this time he was just lucky enough to have them both. It's really nice. And Mia snaps off the Juniper. I believe she discarded 3 Junipers and a Dino. I'm not sure what else she had. But
yeah, Dino's interesting. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's fine. One problem I have with that is that it seems like most of her Pokemon are just going to be being knocked out anyway because they're all low HP. But I mean, I guess if she's in a board position where she's winning and getting ahead, and if someone desperately plays a laser or whatever, she can just get out of it and just not let them stall her out. So again, I will be the first to admit I haven't really tested with or against Troll Drop deck, but it's a pretty linear deck, pretty basic to understand. Troll Drop has been, I haven't really seen it in real life play. Of course, we've only had 1 tournament, which was the NorCal Regionals last week that we streamed, but I think that the Tool Drop deck has been doing well online and getting a little bit hype.
Yeah, I haven't really seen any anyone actually talking about it as a serious play. Just a lot of PTCGO stuff.
Right. Also, keep in mind that one little edge you can get is that tool drop deck does damage based on the number of tools in play, not just the number of tools on your side. So if your opponent's playing Garbodor or playing, you know, Plasma with Bangles and other, you know, other tools and such, but it can, you know, just get a little bit of edge there. Mia's going to attach, spreading out her attackers a little bit. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools in play. Surskit, 2 Trebushes, and she beaches, so just confirming number of cards in hand. And Ross, again, Mia did not explode on turn 1 due to Ross catching the Trebush that was unable to retreat, so it's very possible that Ross just does something he did last game. Rare Candy, Blastoise, knockout, 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 knockout. He's playing a heavy ball, looks like.
So another early Blastoise for him.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an early Blastoise. The lighting in this room, I just gotta say, I think the lighting by the feature match table is very, very good. There's very little glare, and hopefully it'll stay that way all day. There's a little window open over there, so
yeah, there's a little spot of glare, but nothing that critical. It's nice.
Yeah. Ross checking the discard pile. Before he makes his final confirmation. Taking some time again. I think he's just looking for a Blastoise here. He takes a Black Kyurem, so it indicates that he likely has a Blastoise in his hand, or he just doesn't have the rare candy. Confirming, did Ross shuffle the Black Kyurem back into his deck, or was that? I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second, but Ross plays a Keldeo, attaches a water, and taking some careful consideration, catching the Surskit. And beaching. So again, Ross is just, we saw him use his catchers very aggressively last game. We saw him, you know, attack and catch her attackers, but now because Mia has a board presence, it looks like he's catchering to stall mainly, but it's not going to work because the Surskit can return tools to your hand, so she can freely return tools, put a float on that Surskit, retreat it.
Get him out of the way.
Catches a Squirtle, so this could very well be a knockout of Ross's lone Squirtle, and really just put me in a commanding position over this game. So
yeah, I don't think Ross is doing all that well this time.
Mia does not have an energy,
right now,
but she does call race for 7. Yeah, I mean Ross definitely not the ideal setup. You know, he didn't have turn 2 Blastoise, only has 1 Squirtle. Like, it's very possible that he just gets blown out this game in a very similar way to what how Mia was blown out last game.
I'd say if she sets up any more and like knocks out an EX, we'd probably see him scoop.
Would you agree? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure. I think that he would probably maybe a few more turns to a scoop, but I could definitely see a scoop. You know, it hasn't been that much time. Again, we'll keep better track of the times later in the rounds. But that's a very, he gets to go again. He gets to go first. It's very possible that Ross scoops game 2 and then just says whatever. We're gonna have 20 minutes for a game 3 where I get to go